Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
What's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning into the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it. As always, the universal handle for the socials is at Cuse Militia. Go there, join the militia. We are the only Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a voice. So welcome back. Happy freaking Tuesday for us. Some of you may listen on Wednesday. But this is going to be your Duke preview. We're going to play Buy, Sell, or Hold with Tyler Marona a little later. And but first, we're going to hear about Duke a little bit. The Colgate preview is out right now. If you've missed it, these episodes are kind of close together. So we just prompt you to so you know what the heck's going on here. But they play Colgate. Syracuse basketball plays Colgate tomorrow, Wednesday, at 7 o'clock. Right, Joe?
Yes, sir.
And we can't wait. It's going to be super exciting. So, anyway, there's that.
Hope so.
Right. Well, the Duke Blue Devils are going to host the Syracuse Orange Saturday at 4 after a 2-week hiatus. We're going to let's take a look at the new defense, quote-unquote, new defense. So we'll get into all that stuff. But first, it is, Joe. It is NoShave November. I don't know if you know this, right? But we're talking about your face, though, with that, okay? So here's what you do. Don't shave your face, but, don't be a Sasquatch, okay? You got to take care of yourself everywhere else, a.k.a. below the belt, all right? Manscaped.com is a proud sponsor of Armchair Media and this podcast, and they offer the precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, and that's why I recommend you go over to Manscaped.com. They have a redesigned electric trimmer, the Lawnmower 2.0. Has skin-safe technology. That's right, skin-safe technology. So the trimmer won't nick or snag you. So there'll be no more accidents when you're taking care of the goods. And, here's the thing. It's NoShave November. I know we don't have to worry about it too much, but you definitely don't want to use the same razor or blades you use down there as you do on your face. So get the separate razor. Get the Lawnmower 2.0. Get the crop preserver, get the plow, the double-sided razor, get the anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, get the deodorant, and also you get a nice little toiletry bag for all this, and get the little spritzel for the schnitzel, okay? Got that in there too. And also, this is what else you should get. 20% off and free shipping. Just use the promo code ARMCHAIR at checkout. Manscaped.com. Always use the right tools for the job. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping. Use the promo code ARMCHAIR at Manscaped.com. It's 20% off, free shipping, Manscaped.com. And use the promo code ARMCHAIR. Thank you, Manscaped.com. We appreciate it. So, as we were, Joe, before all of that.
As you were.
Duke has lost 3 straight to Virginia, UNC, Notre Dame. Duke is 3-0 against Syracuse in the all-time series, which I didn't know they only played 3 times. Last one in 2014, they won 27-10, and around 90 years ago,
Jameson Crowder. Yeah,
around 90 years ago, Joe, they played 2 times back in the 30s. Got beat,
nice.
Got beat then, too, with the old leather helmets.
Instant classics. Yeah. Instant classics.
The Blue Devils, 4-5, 2-3 in the ACC. They only totaled 197 yards in the 38-7 loss against Notre Dame. Duke's biggest problem, I guess, the good for Syracuse, is that they've turned the ball over 21 times in 9 games, which is the worst in Power 5 in the country. Now, the Blue Devils also average 4.7 yards of play. That's pretty awful. But Syracuse is barely ahead of them at 4.9 yards a play. Duke quarterback Quentin Harris has 1,602 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He's also a dual threat, obviously, if you watch any ACC football. He has 111 rushes, and he's racked up 418 yards, averaging 3.8. And just for some perspective, Joe, Mo Neal has 470 yards on 113 carries. So,
yep.
That's, the good and the bad of it. The good, Syracuse is the defense, I hope, can capitalize maybe on some of the sloppiness of the offense. I think they've turned the ball over 17 times in 4 of their losses. So that's a trend to look for during the game. But the dual threat quarterback, we haven't really faced a real true dual threat like Quentin Harris, which scares me a little bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the one thing that's going to scare you, because this is that type of team, like I told you, based upon how our defense was with losing our, not having any of our D tackles that started last year. And you saw what happened last week against Boston College. And they were supposed to be one-dimensional, right? So it's kind of the same thing here. You saw Quentin Harris, he is second on the team in rushing yards. Behind the running back, Deion Jackson. They haven't really thrown that much. I think the most passing yards they've had in Power 5 play was like 229 yards. So they're not really going to pass the ball a lot. You see, there's going to be a lot of the run-pass option stuff, but a lot of it's going to be running and then the quarterback running. And we've had difficulties in the past with that. And as far as their defense goes, their linebacker, Kobe Kwanzaa, has 83 tackles by himself this year, and just their secondary, they don't give up a lot of yards. I think they only average like 203 yards through the air. Their secondary and their linebackers are sure tacklers. They do have a defensive end. I will butcher his name if I attempt to try it, but
give us the first name, Joe. Give us the first name.
What's that?
Go ahead. All right, you're going to go for it. He's going to go for it, folks. Go for it.
Victor
Very good.
Dimukiji would be my guess, but he's got 6.5 sacks on their defensive line. He's a defensive end, but other than that, it doesn't really look like their defensive line looks like their weakest point of their defense, even though it doesn't mean necessarily, especially against our offensive line, that it's going to be a weakness. They just don't have as strong of a defensive line that other teams that we've in the ACC that we've played. So overall, David Cutcliffe usually has pretty well-coached teams. I can't really speak for their penalties, but again, you said they did have some turnovers, so hopefully we can capitalize, like you said. And, I mean, he got rid of the defensive coordinator for a reason, so I'm assuming we're going to see something different. And, I mean, we know what we're going to see here. They just had a tough game against Notre Dame last week, and we had a bye. So hopefully we could profit from that, so to speak.
Well, I mean, you could look at, right, yeah. Well, we saw what we did off the last bye. So
yeah, I just don't know what to think. Duke, they did beat a Virginia Tech team that made some changes early in the season after they actually lost to Duke, and since then they've kind of been on a roll. But other than that, they really don't have a lot of impressive wins. And like you said, they're on a 3-game losing streak. So, we did say that, like the last game, our best chance. Well, this is our next best chance. So,
yeah,
I'll be down at Wallace Wade Stadium on Saturday. It's going to be, I think, in the 40s, but I'll be down there, and the game starts at 4. And
is it really? It's going to be really cold, huh?
Yeah, it's really cold down here now. So
I know it's cold here too. It's like 39 degrees, but it was
not to get off to the weather, but I'm just saying. Again, that might be another thing because it is going to be cold. We're not going to be in the dome. And you know how we usually like to move and throw the ball and stuff like that. I don't know if there's going to be any precipitation, but that kind of game definitely favors the kind of ground and pound. So we're going to have to win it at the line of scrimmage on the offense and the defense. We're going to have to stop that running attack for Duke if we want a chance. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, I just, you got Steve Stannard in there. We're going to get to see what he's all about. I mean, I don't even know if we're going to really notice much, Joe. I mean, what do you think? Do you think we notice? I mean, this would be a good question for Tyler, too, when he comes on. But
no, I think when it comes, if you listen to, go ahead, I urge all the fans to go out there and listen to Dino Babers, his press conferences. He always does it Monday afternoon or Monday early morning or early afternoon, the week prior to the games, and he kind of was out there again, leaving his breadcrumb trail, and he kind of let it be known that there was issues other than this year, and that there was visions of this defense that just he hasn't seen. And I think that it kind of goes a little bit toward the discipline a little bit. I think I don't know. I don't want to go out on a limb and say that he was coaching like a ball hawk type mentality, but it's pretty obvious that you're seeing us just go for big plays and not sometimes just stopping a play for 3 yards. Just trying to do
rip
too much.
The ball too much and things of that nature.
So I can only imagine that he's kind of talking about that because that's what's been kind of being thrown out there throughout the whole season. And I think that maybe just the last couple of years have perpetuated to this, and they're just not getting the same type of success of getting those turnovers and letting it, be successful and look good for the defense. So.
Well, it's something new. It's something to be a little bit excited for, to see if we can notice a change in maybe the momentum or just the play, or maybe even attitudes or excitement. So, I mean,
right. Well, I'm looking for just less big plays. I think that was a thing when like Scott Schaefer was here, and it kind of bled a little bit into the first couple of years of Babers, and it did have a little bit to do with just the straight up just overall talent that we had, but. Yeah, we've up until last year, and even sometimes last year, we were just known for giving up the big plays, and I think sometimes that ends up coming down to a defense that's undisciplined and just allowing the play to happen and keeping everything in front of them. And I just don't know. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to measure as far as that goes. I want to look and see a team that's undisciplined. An undisciplined team will give up less big plays. So, for instance, a team like this is going to be the same type of team like Boston College, I'm sure, where they're going to be doing run-pass option. Running back's going to run a lot, quarterback's going to run a lot, and then they're going to try to hit you up with that play-action pass for something big. So I'm looking for us to be better with stopping that, and I'm looking for us to be better and be a little bit more disciplined on just run-pass stuff, and hopefully we don't give up 400-plus, almost 500 yards rushing on the ground.
Yeah. Well, here's something. Now, I don't know how this bodes, but Vegas hasn't been hitting their marks, really. Mostly to the bad for us.
Right.
But, so I don't know how everybody wants to interpret this, but it's still sitting at Syracuse getting the 10.5. So, Joe, I will say, we got to properly introduce this, right? So,
yeah.
Go ahead with what you think on the spread, Joe. Now we all know what you think.
That's a lot of points, man.
It is a ton of points.
Like Duke is not like a great team, so I just don't really see.
Does it seem? But though we've seen teams cover these types of spreads where we've been like, oh, it doesn't. That's a lot of points. It doesn't seem right.
Right.
That's what worries me about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give it twofold. If you're a fan out there that thinks that, first off, I don't think Duke's offensive line is as good as Boston College's either. So as much as they do what they do, I think a lot of it's just going to be stopping Quentin Harris from breaking out, and they're going to try to just run it down our throat, pound it out, trying to hurry the game up, keep possessions away from our offense. So if we can stop those big plays, then I think that we cover. If you are a fan that believes that Duke isn't as good as some of these other teams and that this defense is going to be a little bit more disciplined, and from the bye week we're going to have a little bit more time, we're going to be a little bit more fresh, and you think that we can stop the big plays, then I think that we cover. If I think it's the same old, and you're one of those fans that just has already given up, they think that it is what it is, and there's not going to see improvement, and you don't think that defense is going to be any different, then take Duke minus 10.5.
I don't know if that's given up, though. Is that a give up mentality? Because,
well, I wouldn't say a give up mentality, but again, you have to look at the matchups every week, and again, Boston College beat us because of their offensive line, and it was a bad matchup, and we just could not stop that. And now we made a change. We've had 2 weeks, and we know what Duke's going to do.
Right.
And Duke isn't nearly as good at doing it as Boston College is. So, but Duke's got a little bit better defense. Right. So, again, it comes down to looking at the matchups. And if you think, and I guess it comes down to believing, because if there isn't a little bit of change and a little bit of confidence and we don't look a little bit better or we don't progress, then Duke probably will cover and beat us and make us look bad. So I think it's a belief thing, realistically. And I'm going to the game, and I would like to believe that Syracuse has a chance to win, let alone cover 10.5 points. So,
well, right, obviously, and I would like to think they have a chance to win too, along with everybody else. But I want to see it. Not that I don't think they can do it, but the weather.
Let's put it this way: if I was betting money, I probably wouldn't touch this game. But since I have to answer, I'm going to answer with my heart because I'm going to be there.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. All right, we are going to bring Tyler on here in a second, but guess who's back? Back again. Joe, any ideas?
Nah, Bookie.
I did no.
Hey, plus look, man. No, I don't want people to listen to me anymore because
you're emptying people's pockets.
That's what I'm saying. So I thought that was a different way of going about it. You know? I hope people don't listen to me or haven't, but if they do, I don't want people.
I think everybody.
I don't need any comments like, "What the hell, Joe?"
I think everybody knows that whatever you say, do the opposite. So. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, historically speaking,
it wasn't the same last year, but
no, it wasn't. It was very good last year, but they were also winning, and you also went with your heart last year too, but they were just winning. So anyway, look, guess who's back, guys, gals, maybe Blue Chew. Look, Joe, you remember the days when you were always ready to go, right? Remember those days back? I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe. Well, now you can increase your performance and get extra confidence. Just listen up, BlueChew.com. It's blue like the color. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. You can take them any time of the day on a full or empty stomach. And since they're chewable, they work twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. If you could benefit from extra function and more confidence when it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Most guys talk a good game, but Blue Chew helps you follow through. Blue Chew is prescribed online and ships straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person doctor's visits, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. Right now, we've got a special offer for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get the first shipment free when you use the promo code ARMCHAIR. That's promo code ARMCHAIR at BlueChew.com. Just pay the $5 shipping, and that's blue like the color, BLUE Chew.com, promo code ARMCHAIR. Try it for free, pay the $5 shipping. Blue Chew is better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for sponsoring Armchair Media and the Cuse Nation podcast. So, that is it.
Hey, how do those taste anyway, Sean?
The touche, Joe. Touche. Very good. Well done. All right, joining the show now is the one, the only, Tyler Marona, host of the Syracuse football digital radio program on Trademark Podcast number 92, something, yada, 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 or rah, 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 blah, 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 everything I'm supposed to say.
You're so good at that.
Tyler.
I don't think I've made a Syracuse football digital radio show call in probably since I've started recording.
You don't do it. You don't do a call
hilarious.
Anymore. You don't do a call anymore. Right?
No, I don't. I just say I'm an orange man. I have the intro now.
Yeah, the intro, which is nice, by the way. I meant to give you props on that because I remember you talking about it. It came out well, by the way.
Thanks. Well, I got the idea from you when you clowned me so hard that one time. I re-clipped it myself. I was like, okay, well, if it's that funny, I'm going to use it.
It was good. It works great for the intro. You did a great job with it, and I love the music, the instrumental. So I've got here, Tyler. Look at this bad boy.
Oh yeah,
Tyler bought me a cigar when we were in Syracuse. What is it, Macanudo? I don't know cigars. Is that what it's called?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Macanudo Inspirato. So I was gonna spark this baby up. I'm still thinking about it. Look, I appreciate it, Tyler. I saved it. I told you I was gonna save it for this occasion. So anyway.
You did, and that's. I mean, enjoy it. I got it for you. Whenever you want to use it, that's up to you, man. Like I'm not gonna hold your feet to the cigar flame fire.
No, I think I'm going to use this little shot glass as an ashtray. I might try it out.
No.
So look, we're going to play Duke. I know you don't want to talk a ton about this, but I have to get your opinion about the Duke game. Going in, new defensive coordinator, Tyler. Just give us your thoughts. I listened to your last podcast. You didn't really mention it, so.
Well, yeah. I mean,
in fact, you avoided it.
Yeah. Well, you move on. I mean, so the last game that we played, we went to, right? So, and that was the final straw for Coach Ward, which is obviously is too bad. You never want to see that, all the platitudes, because like that is literally someone's income. Granted, they make good money and all that stuff. He's probably saved well, all that. I'm sure he can like find his next job, whether that's at a position coach level or a defensive coordinator level at another school, maybe a smaller school. However, here is the deal with Coach Ward. I don't know if you guys saw this stat, but 6 schools or 6 programs, whether I don't know if it's different teams, I forget, but this is like right after the firing happened. 6 schools or 6 teams at different times have set offensive records against Coach Ward. I think that's kind of fireable. I don't know about you.
It doesn't bode well.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And with what Dino said in his press conference yesterday, he kind of put it all together and said it wasn't just this year, that it was past years. And there's been times where I know that you've noticed it, Tyler. There's been a lot, and we talked about it earlier, a lot of undisciplined defensive play. And just you don't give up those big plays unless you're just lack the talent like that bad, or you're just being undisciplined. And I think that, like you said, last week was kind of the straw. So definitely tough, and I don't know what to expect of this next guy. But
you think the timing was right? You start early on next season type thing.
I don't know. I've never fired a coach. I can't tell you when the right time to make that move is. I know that the best time is never. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
but
right.
Sure, why not? I met Coach Stannard when I was there. He seems like a great guy. He seems animated. He's the D-line coach. That's definitely the strongest part of the team. I don't know if that has really anything to do with anything, because my D-line coach, Coach Doust, was also relieved of his duties as a defensive coordinator last year from Western Michigan after an equally as bad loss. So it doesn't mean that, okay, Coach Stannard's in here now, everything's going to be great. And you're right, Joe. The biggest problem is that we actually do have talent. I feel the same way about the Dallas Cowboys. It's like we have the ability to win these games, and we don't put ourselves in a position to win. And especially looking at the BC game, it was so clear that we were just like, I had no idea what was going on. And that is something that needs to have an adjustment if you're going to be a Power 5 school. So again, I don't know. I think this is all just like fallout from what has been probably the most disappointing football season in my life of a team I've ever rooted for. Like, I've never been so off in my life about
based
anything,
on expectations,
really.
right?
Yeah, I know. There was a lot of points scored, So there's that.
Fair.
That's my analysis on that. Okay?
Yeah. Well, dude, it's tough because, again, there's other things you have to, that do go into it. The fact that he's been there, the whole Ahana family thing, the fact of what Tyler said, he's never fired somebody. That had to be really tough for Dino. And again, too, you have the whole recruiting aspect as well. He recruited some of these guys. Most likely some of these guys came here because of Coach Ward. So you never really know what that fallout's going to be as well. So it just really had to have been a serious issue that Dino was kind of he was like done, whether it was pressure from above, pressure from the media, fans, whatever, but he had to do something, obviously.
Is there anything else we want to bring up quickly before we play some
just to retort on recruiting real quick. Yeah. I was recruited by Scott Schaefer as like one of his first I was in his first class.
Right.
So I had to trust blindly. I committed to the school. I didn't commit to a coach. It helps if a coach is a good salesman. That's what Dabo Swinney is known for. He's the best salesman in America. I think he does that better than anybody else that I've ever seen because he literally has all the money in the world at his disposal. That means that he gets checks written for him. Okay, so that being said, Coach Ward or any defensive coordinator has a two-way sale to make. You have to be a good one-on-one person, and you also have to put a good product on the field. If you don't put a good product on the field, it doesn't really matter because we need to elevate our recruiting anyway. So if a guy that's like not doing well just wants to, continue his job, it makes me more scared as a recruit because it's like, well, what's the deal?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get that. That's that weird thing between production and the guys that they bring in. I remember George McDonald. He was a great recruiter, but
fantastic.
When you look at the production, so at some point it's got to outweigh it. If you get guys, but like you said, you can't get production on the field. I guess it comes down to production on the field. So,
well, we talked a lot last year about Ward. We questioned him last year. I mean, there was a lot of questions last year. Even we were winning, so
because we were averaging almost 40 points a game.
Right.
So,
right.
For sure.
So.
Anyway. And by the way, nobody liked Coach McDonald after like a year. Like after the first training camp, everybody was like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" Like he just completely because if you overpromise and deliver, like that affects your mental like health, honestly, like because that's being lied to, So then you have trust issues. And I don't want.
Was that when you were there?
Yeah, that was when I was there. So
okay,
that, again,
I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't want to fillet Coach McDonald, but he kind of did it to himself. So, I mean, it is what it is.
And maybe he's been at NC State since as a wide receiver coach and probably doing good things in the recruiting as far as with them. So maybe that's where he needs to be right now. So it was just unfortunate that 1 year, definitely for sure, because I remembered that it got hyped up and then it was bad.
How did you enjoy your trip to Syracuse, Tyler? You were delayed a day.
Yeah, so like the first day got canceled altogether. It was really brutal on my psyche, on my mental emotional health. I'm a panicker, so I had yeah, man. When it comes to things I paid for, I'm gonna be pretty panic prone. But it ended up being probably one of the most beautiful trips I've had as an adult, or maybe even as a youth. I'm going to talk about it more on my show. But it was just an impactful time to be there. And like I said, I'll save the rest, but getting to see you, getting to go to the game, getting to catch up with, friends and family out there. I don't really have any family, but you know what I'm saying? And and then going to that pizza parlor that you said was like, this is the most low-key place in the world. Some guy's birthday is happening, and the guy's birthday is the lead guitarist of a band that went on for like 2 hours, and I can't even hear what you're saying.
So hold on.
What was that all about?
So, right. This is where
I have some explaining to do to me.
I know. This is where I was going to go next. And I felt terrible because my mom hates that type of stuff too, but I always drag my mom out to Trappers.
Should have went to Trappers too.
I went to Trappers too.
That's where we went.
Oh, man.
I went to Manoa. That's the only one I go to because I
just went to the other one then.
Shut up, Joe. So
it was like a 1 in a million chance, and that was just like my trip. Like I honestly, like the first day gets canceled, we go and some random dude's having a birthday party,
and he's playing guitar in a band, and we're like,
and his wife's making out with him while he's playing guitar. It was the wildest scene ever.
That's the
sounds like a White Snake video.
Dude, it was.
But hold on.
I mean, if this guy wasn't like turning 68, it would have been fantastic. I mean, everybody's engines would have been revved, but that's not what happened.
Right. Well, see, I brought everybody there because I only had like a couple hours, and then I was leaving the next morning. So I brought everybody there. I'm like, it'd be a good spot. We'll put a couple tables together. I'll buy some pizzas, and we're just going to just chill, right? Because that's what Trappers is, right, Joe? You can vouch for this, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I mean, I usually used to go more for like the volleyball.
Right, but it's a chill place.
Alcohol, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it was loud. We had a hard time talking. But here's the important thing, Tyler. Tyler's a big fan of the Dave Portnoy pizza reviews. And I am. I really wanted to do one with Tyler, but obviously it was not the environment for it. but I never got to really ask you. What'd you think, Tyler? The pizza's good. Is the pizza good?
It is good. I mean, absolutely. I think Syracuse pizza in general is fantastic. I mean, it really did change my perception on what pizza is. Coming from California, it's trendy. You know, what can I do? What's the gimmick? What's this? What's that? In New York, it's just, you know, sauce, dough, cheese, topping. I mean, there is no gimmick to it, and it was really good.
Yeah.
I got a buffalo chicken slice. That's my favorite, which is a total gimmick, but I mean, it is what it is. I had a lot of pepperoni. I think I had 4 or 5 slices. Don't hold me to that. I mean, they're big. I was hungry because I had to wait, you know, to in between that guy playing his guitar because I couldn't even hear what was going on. So, but no, it was good. I appreciate it. It would have been fantastic had there been no birthday party for a guy I didn't know, and it's literally every person that he knows was there.
I know. I know. Trust me, I was like, come on, are you serious? Anyway, we digress. It's time to play Buy, Sell, or Hold. Tyler, here are the rules. You got 3 questions. You can only hold on 1.
Okay.
Okay? Guess what?
One more clarification I need here is what's the hold time frame? Like, is it hold today, tomorrow, next year?
You could put your own. There is no time frame. If you want to specify a time frame, that is up to you.
Okay, can I short?
There, you just lost me.
Okay, that's a financial industry question.
Okay, yeah, which is your field. So yeah, you killed me on that one. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, here we go. Guest goes first as always at Tyler Marona. This one's from Joe P on Facebook, and he just says Tommy DeVito. Buy, sell, or hold.
Oh man, that's.
It's a loaded question.
Quick, is Tommy the biggest lightning rod you can remember in like a team history? Because it's like Tommy sucks, you know, he's this, he's that, he can't get the ball out. But it's like I would also be terrible if I had no time. So I think the big thing with Tommy is like I need to see it. My buy or my sell or hold all relies on the O-line. So I'm going to put this as let's say the O-line progresses 10% to next year. I guess that leaves me at holding because I can't buy anymore. I can't sell anymore. I don't know. Maybe actually I just talked myself into buying, but a few shares. It's like, Joe, yours that you don't want.
I think we picked the wrong guy to play this game with.
No, I don't think we did. I think the whole thing is that he has to understand. You only get. I fell for this before. You only get 1 hold.
You only get 1 hold.
So choose your hold wisely.
Okay.
I recant my hold. I'm saying I buy.
He said buy, but only a few shares. He's specifying the shares, which is a first.
Yeah. Well, what's it as? It's a penny stocks right now, right? So I mean, I'm probably getting great value.
Yeah. I was thinking more or less.
You
take the whole package, or you buy in 100%, or you don't buy in.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so I'll do this. I'll put down 10,000 units on like 5-cent shares. I will be the richest man in America after that.
All right, Joe. Tommy DeVito. Buy, sell, or hold.
I am going to buy.
Really?
And the only reason I'm going to buy more shares than Tyler, only because I know that. I mean, what are we buying? Are we buying him as a player, or are we buying him as our starting quarterback?
Well, I don't know. Ask Joe P from Facebook.
That's the big thing.
Ask Joe P from Facebook. Here's what I.
All right,
he doesn't even know what he's asking.
Can I phone a friend? Because I have his phone number.
No, you can't phone a friend.
Call Tommy?
Here's the thing. No.
Joe P.
I'll put it like this.
Joe P.
I'll put it like this. This is Joe's brother-in-law, basically. By the way, I'll put it like this.
Basically, by the way, okay.
Tommy DeVito, are you going to buy into the Tommy DeVito for the next after this year, 2 years, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm buying in. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of it comes down to the fact that I don't see anybody behind him that's going to sniff his cleats, and that's no disrespect to anybody that's on the roster, but. I haven't seen anybody that's came in, and I don't see anybody that's coming in next year. So for the foreseeable future, it's going to be Tommy time, whether people like it or not.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was.
That's why I'm buying. That's why I was asking. Would we buying the?
I think I have to buy personally because I don't think he's gotten.
Copycat league.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Tommy DeVito. When he has had the protection, he's made some mistakes, and he's made a lot.
That's also true.
And so it's really hard
last year as well.
Right, it's really hard to buy, but my heart, you guys, is saying buy, have faith in this kid, and I want to have faith in him.
No, Sean,
I do.
When you don't have time for 80% of the time.
I know. Well,
and even that 20% when you do have time, you still don't think you have time.
I know, and I get it. That's why I'm going to hold. But like you said, Joe, I already know all the questions ahead of time. So it's a little unfair. But I'm just going to hold. Okay. But I'm only doing that to go against the grain because you guys obviously both bought. So I'm just making it interesting. All right. I had Tyler Marona. Zach on Facebook. He says Mo Neal is going to rush for 1,000 yards.
Well, I mean,
and then
do you want the real answer or do you want the fake answer? No. The real answer is that he's not. And I was that again.
This is not a real question, though. Go aheed.
I've said many times. I have to go out on the side of the road. I have to pull out a weapon. I have to shoot a bird, and I have to eat the crow. I have to cook it. I have to do something. I have to be held to my word, and I am wrong. So if now's the time to sell, I have to sell. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Mo. I love you, Mo, but that's that.
It's not really Mo's fault.
Swamp people once.
Not really Mo's fault. But in all seriousness, here's the question from Zach. He was just joking. The issues, and I reworded this a little bit to make it a buy, sell, or hold question. The issues with the football team can be attributed to bad coaching.
Buy, sell,
Joe, no, I'm sorry, pass for now.
Joe, Joe,
right.
Sorry. It's on you. We're going to come back to Tyler in a second.
I didn't know it was coming either. Nice. All right. Oh, man.
That's a real question, man.
Yeah, it is. That's going to be my hold there, sir. That's going to be my hold. Call it a cop out all you want. Yep, that's going to be my hold because, again, I think it's a little bit of both. That's all. We talked about the little lull in just what happens when you get new coaches. He's in his fourth year there, so when he came in, there's a little bit of transition change, a little bit of turnover, so sometimes you get certain things. So I think there's a little bit to do with talent, a little bit to do in depth as far as experience and age, and a little bit to do with coaching. And I think that Dino, he kind of did some things this week or this past week to kind of prove that and try to change that. So I'm going to say just hold just because, again, I'm going to stay with the faith, belief without evidence, like Dino said. I know this year hasn't gone how we expected, but just 1 year.
All right, Tyler, are you ready?
Yeah, okay. So, first thing to think about, this is the longest Dino's ever been at one place at one time. I mean, he's going into uncharted territories here. Being a 4-year, head coach now, he was at 2 years with Eastern Illinois with the 1AA Heisman. Jimmy Garoppolo lost them Monday Night Football. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not a fan of them. And then he went to Bowling Green and he polished a literal turd.
Yeah, he did.
And then he did the same thing with us. So it's like, I don't know exactly what the deal. I've never been in one of his meetings. I've never seen his game plan put up. I saw a couple of plays on the board that Coach Martin had drawn up, but I mean, they were just running the muck plays. They're nothing that I've never seen before. So I think that Dino's kind of proven a point because I really do think that the team came in sophomoric, which is immature, overconfident for Sean. I know you were going to ask what that meant, so I was just going to break that down for you.
Touche.
Because they literally are sophomores, so outside of a few guys. So, I mean, I think that is the definition of it. So I don't really know if that's the coaching thing or not. I would say I would sell that kind of notion because Dino's proved that he doesn't suck by any matter. So it's just like maybe this is just like he's going through something for the first time.
I'm going to agree with Tyler. I'm going to sell on that too. And I don't really have a giant reason other than the last thing you said with Dino. I love Dino Babers. I believe in Dino Babers. I'm not one of these coach headhunters. I don't think all of the you can't make the kids play the game. And Tyler brought up something to me during the game, and this could be a coaching thing or not. But when you give up on your route, Joe, the scramble drill, we've talked about it a bunch.
Dude. Yeah.
Right. So
I lived. That was my thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
that is not helping. That is not helping a young quarterback out. Okay,
No,
is it
you can't
coachable?
just
Yeah,
stop.
you can tell them to do it. You could do the scramble drill. Obviously, they're doing the scramble drill, Joe. Right? I mean, that's a basic thing. So
Yep.
I think, with that said, you can't place all the blame on the coaches. I'm going to sell that as well.
No, I agree, and I'm gonna just want to add something for where Tyler was kind of going there. Because I did see, like in the beginning, I saw you kind of going. I thought you were going the one way where Dino hasn't been someplace long enough to show that he can sustain the success. He's shown that he can polish a turd, but can he show? But can he show that he can actually sustain that turd? And again, it's yet to be seen. But again, I do believe in just the coaching, just the things that you saw. Just again, nothing against Scott Schaefer. I love the guy. I honestly thought that he got fired a little bit too early. But when Dino Babers did come in, you did see the in-game coaching change, and I do believe that we've seen he's got proof, and I believe so.
Okay, so Joe gets to go twice. Do you want to go twice, Tyler?
Sorry. Well, this is by far the worst roster coaches ever had as a head coach, and there's no doubt about that. So I don't really know, like, what. Sometimes I just wonder, like, what direction's up, man? I can't even fathom what it's like to be in his shoes. Can't even imagine what it's like.
It's not fair, really.
But he probably saw this coming too, Tyler, because he knew once he saw the peak
sucks.
Yeah, like he saw what he did last year, and then saw who he lost, and he's like, oh boy, because he knew what the media was going to bring. He knew what expectations were going to be, and he tried to tell us throughout all the offseason, throughout every interview he had. He tried to tell us, and no one wanted to listen.
Just real quick as an aside, did y'all happen to read Brent Axe's piece at Syracuse.com? It was like the most snarky, passive-aggressive a-hole piece I think he's probably ever written, and that's saying a lot. Did you see it?
About what? The Babers giving fans the faith back?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Enough said.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't read Syracuse.com. I'm just going to be honest. I don't want it to cloud my judgment.
I don't blame you. That's a good move.
Yeah.
It's a good move.
So
I should probably get on that train.
It's just like, you got to form your own opinion, man, because if you're not doing that, then it's so easy to, just do like I like this guy, I hate this guy.
I'm just so cynical of Syracuse.com now. It's almost like whatever I read certain people write, I feel like I need to be against it because it just is, it's so aggravating over there.
No, dude, you got to do what I do. You just got to pick out the bits that you need and just tunnel vision through all the BS.
I highly recommend like Noon's Magician and Inside the Loud House and just all of those sorts. I mean, those branches off of that are good. Orange Fizz is a great recruiting site. And,
I'm still on Tyler's right. Hey, look.
Yeah.
Read the stuff and formulate your own opinion.
Yeah.
Look, Chris Carlson's a friend. I mean, he is a dear friend, but I'm going to be honest. Like, it doesn't help me at all to do that, and I'm not in the market either. So it's like I don't really know. Like, I don't read the Houston Chronicle either. Like, it's not interesting to me. Like national type stuff, like The Athletic, or like you were saying, like by the common man for the common man, the Barstool model. That's how I go about it. Like, I don't really like paid professionals shoving their narrative down my face because. Right. I mean, it's sensationalism. And look, I am guilty of that too, but I mean, I just do it. I just do it for fun. Like my Maryland game meltdown, that was fun.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, that's how I think about it.
All right. Last one. The first shoe to drop in writing the Syracuse football ship had to be Brian Ward. Tyler, you're up.
Had to be, like that's the key word, right?
Had to be the first person on that, the first coach on that
first
team
coach fired
that had to go was Brian Ward.
I agree that he was probably the one that had to go. Like, I don't think that like there was another the receivers coach, or you name any other, the DB's coach. It's like, I don't think they had to go. I think Coach Ward had to go, but that's that, man. So that's a bye.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Joe, where should I go?
Go ahead, bud.
No, you go.
I'm going to pass to you, bud.
No, you can't pass it to me. I'm hosting the show. I give it back to you.
Well, I just didn't. I don't remember you specifying those rules at the beginning.
No,
but okay.
I mean, I just am wondering where this is all going to go. So go on.
Look, I'm going to buy it too.
Okay.
Based upon what we talked about earlier today and everything.
This is why I
don't
asked
really
if I should go.
Yeah, I know. I get it. So might as well. But right, like you said, I'm going on what we just talked about with the roster. I think that's really why a lot of people would probably say an offensive coach, right? Offensive line coach or the quarterback coach or the offensive coordinator based upon their performance. But I really do think, like what Tyler said, Babers understands the people that the players that he has in those positions, and he understands that it's not worth the coach's job because it is what it is. Sometimes we talked about it in a couple podcasts. Sometimes you just have those groups in certain years where they're just not there. And looking at the talent in what our defense did last year, I think that's really where you can base that firing, is that he did have the talent. He did have tools to be able to do a little bit more. So I'm going to buy as well.
Yep, I'm buying. Joe and I talked before the show, and basically with all he's got, he should be doing a whole lot more. And I just feel like, we had, like I mentioned earlier in the show about, there was questions too about last year, and we were winning, and like Joe said, that's because we were scoring 40-something points, but we were letting a lot through, and I think it was a start. But Tyler, so I'm going to buy, and that's the end of that. But Tyler, what do you think about more? I mean, we talked about this after this first happened, and where do you stop? Do you stop there and see what happens? Do you maybe clean up offensive line end? Do you clean up anything on the offense? Do you just let that try to work itself out after this? I mean, you obviously don't want too much at once. It looks bad. It's going to be a media frenzy. It looks bad for recruits. I mean, what do you think?
I don't really think that this is Coach Kavanaugh's fault. I met him when I was back there. I actually sat in on an evaluation of a player, an offensive lineman that they were looking at. It was very fun. And he said everything that I would want to hear from an offensive line coach. I just think he's dealt a shit hand, like, in all honesty. And he looks 1,000 years old from pictures, but he's really not that old. Like, and I don't know if that has something to do with it from like a 10,000-foot view. But he's a really good guy. And that doesn't mean everything, but I think he knows what he's doing. Like, he's looking for the guys that, in all the things that I was afraid of with that recruit, he voiced them as well. So it's like, okay, he obviously has an idea. He was with Oregon State for a long time, got a bunch of guys out of Southern California that I thought were far superior to anybody I faced at Syracuse. So that means that he knows what he's looking for. Maybe he just hasn't gotten there yet. And that's kind of the big thing. I mean,
again, it kind of comes down to the players. I mean, look at the players on the offensive line. I mean, you had one that quit. I mean, it just goes to show.
Right. Straight up.
Right. Yeah. Right. So
graduate transfer that quit because he's just looking to get better and just raise his NFL draft prospect, right? And then you have, when Sam Heckel goes down, now we have three offensive linemen that are 1 year away from legit actually starting in D1 ACC football, and they're forced to start. We have Aaron Cervais and then Evan Adams, who's a senior, that can actually do what they're supposed to do out there, and that's like what Tyler said. That's the hand that was dealt this year.
What do you
think? For better, for worse.
I mean, I knew they moved service. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was just going to say, I don't think that this is the time because there's still a quarter of the season left, and, it's fourth quarter time. Who knows? Put your fours up in the air. I don't know what's going to happen. I have a good idea of what's going to happen, but you don't know for sure. Like, let's say Coach Stenard just comes out cooking, and he's calling these blitzes, these zone blitzes, and they're getting home every time, and they're, sacking the quarterback again. Alton Robinson's getting free. Cisco's picking people off. Like, the things that we did last year that just did not happen this year because I don't think that they were put in a place to succeed.
Right.
So,
feels that way a little bit, but
yeah.
But numbers wise, we're still there. We can technically still get a bowl game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's mathematically possible still. And you hear about 5 wins can get you a bowl game, but let's be honest. Let's not even, go there, I don't think.
I don't think anybody's going to want us to play in their bowl game at 5 and 7.
Come on. Come on.
Well,
Can you imagine?
that only happens when they just don't have enough teams to fill the bowls. So
Come on.
And I feel like everybody this year is going 6-6, like besides us. You know what I mean? So it's like,
So it might not even be a spot, right?
yeah. What was that?
It won't even be a spot then. You're saying it's gonna be a lot if there's a lot of 6-6 teams.
That's what I think. Yeah.
right, yeah, I think it's going toward that too. And again, like Tyler said, you never know. Who knows if the standard comes in and the defense they start popping off, special teams start hitting their field goals the way that they did last year, and those type of things start going our way. Then
I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, it's not like the teams that we're playing; they aren't world beaters. It's not teams
clearly.
It's not. Most of them haven't been, and the ones ahead of us aren't. So I know Wake Forest is going to be tough, but I mean. You go on a 2-game stretch and then have Wake Forest in the Dome for the last game of the season. Imagine the Dome then, I mean, in the next 2 weeks will be a lot different. So
that's true. I still say they draw a good crowd.
You know me, I'm optimistic, bro. Glass half full.
Well, you have to be, right? I mean, what fun is it if you're just freaking negative all the time?
Well, plus I'm going to the game this week.
There's a fine line.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So
there's a fine line between being negative, positive, and being realistic.
No, I know.
And
realism's tough, man.
Realism is tough. Reality is brutal. But, just make the best of what we got left. That's all I ask. I just want to see the effort. It was pointed out to me.
Yeah, effort's great, man.
Yeah.
I love effort.
I mean...
You get an E.
Yeah, I mean, something. Show me something. Show me you're still fighting. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I asked for.
Coach Faber should have just tanked a game last year and just been like, look, man, we still got a lot of work to do. We should have gone to West Virginia and just played a complete
flop
egg.
the bowl game.
All right, guys, this is really where we're at. It's it looked good, but this is where we're at.
But it's crazy. What you said, that happens. It really is a thing. What he said, just having that taste of success and being young and thinking that you're untouchable and coming in just overconfident and immature, like you said, it's crazy that it happens like that, because so many fans just think it's going to be 10-3. Well, we're going to reload and do the same damn thing.
It's embarrassing if you go back to our preseason predictions, Joe. I think I was
horrified. I was credited on Bleacher Report saying we were going to win 10 games.
Were you?
I tweeted it.
Really?
Yeah,
I think I was 9.
I remember saying something at worst, we're going to go 7-5.
The sky was falling. I would have had an aneurysm if somebody told me before the season if we were going 7-5. I would have had a straight heart attack, and now here we are. We literally can't.
And I mean, it is what it is, man. There's always next year, guys. It does.
Oh yeah, there is. And by the way, Syracuse basketball is just putting me on another whole plane. By the way, to complain about the fact that we Coach Boeheim saying why I'm upset that we had to play Virginia the first game of the season, as if he didn't know that this was happening for months in advance. How did you not know? How was this upsetting to you? You knew this. You knew this was going to happen.
It's fair, but that's classic.
We can't run a pick and roll, a pick and a roll, where a big guy screens a little guy, and then we throw it up in the air, and then the big guy throws it down for a dunk.
No, and you don't have big guys that can do
every play in the NBA.
Yeah, that's been an issue for at least 3 years.
We don't have big guys that can do that, man.
Yeah.
I know.
So it's tough. All I know is I'm becoming a Washington Huskies fan.
Oh, that was a great game.
Honestly, to me,
that
is painful. That's the most painful thing.
Yeah,
it is. I agree with Tyler. I'm with Tyler. It's terrible. It's
it's bad.
It obviously
really
was
bad.
not meant to be, and I wish him the best, but I'm just Isaiah Stewart is a freaking animal. This kid is amazing.
You see that Baylor game?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Dude,
yeah. It was amazing.
Three starters. 2 of them are from Rochester, New York, and the other one is a 5-star from Philadelphia. That didn't even have Washington in his top 3. He had Syracuse and Kentucky, picked Kentucky and transferred and went to Washington. I wonder why. Hopkins.
It makes me want to jump off of a cliff.
Bro.
Do you think that it's time to go
Oh
Joe
boy,
Paterno.
are we playing buy, sell, or hold?
Where like he's like Coach Boeheim's the figurehead, like the Queen of England. Like she really does nothing. She just kind of sits there, and then we kind
She
of
waves.
like hire a guy that comes in as an offensive specialist. That's kind of the way we go. Like Coach Boeheim doesn't take a pay cut. He just sits there, picks the nose, throws the jacket off if something happens. But the other guy really coaches the team. I'm for that. I think that works, especially at a place like Syracuse. I think that works 100%.
That's a very valid point. That's a great, or not
that's very
necessarily a
interesting.
valid point, but a great idea.
Yeah.
I want to go to Coach Hopkins and just be like, what is your price? Like, I don't care what it is.
Hey,
the check is blank.
do you want to
fill it in?
If we started a GoFundMe page to get Mike Hopkins to Syracuse, I'll bet you it would get flooded.
I bet it would. And
Problem is we wouldn't get him. I don't think
Dude, 5 years ago, if you said, hey, Mike Hopkins is going to be the Washington Huskies head coach, and in 5 years, you'd rather have Washington's roster than your own? I'd be, nah.
humble pie.
Joe.
No.
Wow.
Humble pie.
Yeah.
And it is automatic in his recruiting. It is unbelievable.
Ooh, see how he put Otto in there? Look at that.
Yeah. My cat's name is Otto.
So-
My cat's name is Otto, Tyler.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, one upper.
Tyler's a cat guy.
I am.
No, me too.
He's a
Yeah, I
but,
know.
I mean, what?
I am. I don't need all that. I don't need all that dog energy when I get home.
I know.
It's
right?
too much. It really is.
Joe.
But
What? What do you mean? What do you mean, Joe? That dog energy's out of control, bro.
Joe hates my bro. Oh man, we're getting so far off the beaten path right now.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy.
it's fine.
That's what the people want.
Forget it. Well, I'm not even gonna go there. Anyway, yeah, Joe's not a fan of dogs. But anyway, all right.
yeah.
Tyler.
My phone's gonna die, so
Yes,
I think I
Tyler.
have to jet out of
Tyler.
here.
Well, we love you, dude. Thank you for
I love
stopping
you too,
by.
guys.
It was awesome seeing you at the game. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Sorry I couldn't come, bro.
Yeah, well, you're making
Understood.
the next one. You're making the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Tyler, thanks for coming on. That's all I got. I wish I had more.
Love you guys. I'll see you later.
All right, buddy. Later.
Peace.
Bye.
How about that?
All right.
Okay,
Hey,
look.
Hold on.
I think
What?
you should use it, but we can't.
It's fine.
Every time.
At Tyler Marona on Twitter. It's always great having him on. Things get a little,
Yep.
I don't know, Joe. What do you call
We
it?
kind of go to different
It's free.
places.
It's a little
other than-
freestyle, and I apologize
Yeah.
if it got a little too freestyle.
Hey
It's
man,
not usually.
that's a natural connection. So
Yeah.
we always like having Tyler on whenever we can have him on.
Obviously,
Look, he came on and he was sick. I don't want
I
to say
know.
on his deathbed.
By
but
the way-
he was
No
he was
way.
hitting mute a
He
lot.
was hitting
so-
mute to blow his nose quite a bit, and we
Right,
want to
so
thank him for that.
He was a trooper.
He was. His phone was dying, so he says. But I want to thank Tyler Marona for coming on. That was a blast, as always. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I want to thank Manscaped.com. I want to thank Blue Chew. I want to thank all of you for listening. James on guitar. Armchair Media. So that's it for Joe.
Go get it.
I'm Sean.
Duke.
We're out.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Go Cuse. Light up.
Thanks for listening to the Cuse Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.